Hey there, Jack and Jill Motorrad out there in YouTube land. It's Wes with the MOA back for another video. Now, I'm getting ready to do a thorough service on my 1976 R90/6. And I'm actually not gonna show you the things that I'm doing because I've shown them to you in other videos. I'm gonna be changing the engine oil and filter. I'm gonna be changing the oil in the transmission, the swing arm, and the final drive. I'm not gonna be changing the air filter because I just did that a little while ago. I'm gonna bleed the brakes, which I am gonna show you how I do. I'm gonna adjust the valves. I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff. But this time I'm gonna try and do it all with the toolkit that I put together to carry on this bike, which consists of the things in this giant loop bag, which is actually meant to go on your handlebar, and my portable torque wrench thingy, which is not a wrench, it's a thingy that fits onto your ratchet that functions as a torque wrench. As I go along, I'm going to be making notes as to which tools I use, which tools I don't use for a service like this. My bike is at a little over 70,240 miles, so I'm a little bit late for my 70,000 mile service, but that's okay because I know when I did the oil change last time, and I changed the oil on this bike a little more often than I probably need to because I'm a little bit paranoid, and it burns and leaks a good bit of oil, so I stay on top of the oil. So mostly what I'm doing is setting a baseline at 70,000 so I know what to expect at 72.5 and 75. So what I'll do, instead of showing you all the things I'm gonna do, is as I go through, I'm gonna show you which tools I'm using, and at the end, I should have a better idea of what I can leave in the kit and what I can leave at home. Other than doing the service and bleeding the brakes, I want to make sure that I can take the wheels on and off if I need to, and sometimes that might involve removing part of the exhaust, the muffler, to get at the nut, depending on how things are. You saw the video with Steve Johnson where we put new tires on the bike and we took the wheels on and off. So I know I can do it without removing the muffler, but I want to make sure I can do it with my tools instead of at somebody's house. Because I'm going to be checking the valves, and I rode the bike about 55 miles to get here. Here at Morton's, they loaned me these fans to put on the cylinders to cool those off quickly. But I need to get after the oil really quick because it'll cool down too, and I want to get it out of there while it's still pretty warm. Here's a little overview of what I've got in the kit right now that I'm going to be trying out to make sure I need everything today. Adjustable wrench, Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver. I'm going to use that for the carburetors. This is kind of a luxury. This is a little magnetic extension pickup thingy. This is a 5mm long with a wobble end hex. That's for getting the bolts out of my oil filter cover. This is a 4mm hex driver, and that I use to adjust the controls on the handlebar. There's a little flashlight, always a handy thing to have. Check the battery, yep, it works. This is the only tool that comes in the stock kit that I've got. It's to adjust the stock shocks, but really what I have it for is because these pins remove the caps on the forks, and if I ever need to get fork oil out or in, I'm gonna need that, so I keep it. Sockets are 14, 15, 17, 19, 21, and 22. 22 is for the wheel axle nuts, and the other ones are various. I'll use the 14 and the 15 today. This is a 22mm, I forget what they're called. On the other side of this wheel, it's hard to get to the wheel nut. A short 3/4 drive extension, a longer 3/4 drive extension, combination wrench that's 6 and 8mm. I've got one that's an open end, 10 and 12, and one that's a closed end, 10 and 12, because you need two 12s to adjust the valves. 11 and 13, and these are all Duratec. You can see they're very thin, so they're light. I've also got a 3/8" drive to 1/2" drive conversion, and that is because if I need to put the socket on my exhaust nut wrench, that is a 1/2" drive requirement, so I need that adapter. I also have a 24 and a 27 combination wrench. This is a H8 or Allen 8mm Allen. That is for the oil pan drain bolt. I have obviously the exhaust nut wrench. I have a small pair of needle nose pliers. I also have a small pair of cutters, but I left them at home for some reason. I have a spark plug socket, which is actually a 13/16, but it fits the spark plugs on this bike. Then of course the 3/8 driver. This is very compact and it's got a rotating head. So here's the oil pan drain bolt, and you can see that fits right on the H8. So as I use the tools, I'm going to set them aside. Some of them I know I'm going to use, like the 17 and the 19 and the 14, you know, without a doubt. The 12s to adjust the valves if they need to be adjusted. So it's really kind of a test to see what else, and I will attempt to take on and off all of the wheel bolts. In a little hidden compartment inside the tool bag, I've got a couple of other things here. These are 2 wet wipes, Gojo brand, to help clean up if I need to, if I'm on the road or something. This is a little package of blue thread lock if I need it. 2 small packages of dielectric grease if I have to do anything that needs those. Feeler gauges, which I will need to work on the valves, and the relevant ones are, let's see if I can get this right this time. There's one of them, 0.15 millimeters, and there's the other one, 0.20 millimeters, and that's actually 3 decimal points. Non-magnetic, which doesn't matter, that's just the kit that I got, and it's a very small, see, there's not much to it. This is a spark plug gapper. Never leave home without it. This is the instructions and the 2 tools I need to adjust my rear shocks. This kind of tool is called a Tommy bar, and you can also use this to remove you can use this on the axles too if you need to, although I prefer to use a screwdriver just to get a better grip. And then this small Allen wrench, I believe it is a 3mm, but I couldn't swear to it and it's not marked, but this definitely goes to my rear shocks. I also use the 8mm H8 hex 8 to get the fill bolt out of the transmission, and I used the longer extension on that, so that's definitely going to stay. Technically, need is a strong word for it, but it was very handy. 19mm socket used to get the drain bolt out of the transmission, so that stays. Also used the long extension on that just to make it easier. I used the H8 and the short extension to get the fill plug off of the final drive, but I could not get enough leverage with my short 3/8 driver, so I had to go get a longer driver to get a little more leverage in the space available. So that's a pain point. I'm going to try that again later and see what happens. The 19mm socket also fits the drain for the final drive. Both the drain and the fill for the swing arm use the 17mm, so I've got a pretty good head start on what stays and what goes. Now I don't want to get too far ahead of myself in taking these bolts out, so I'm really just checking them. That's the drain for the oil pan, that's the drain for the transmission. I don't want to have a bunch of drain plugs sitting around not knowing where they go. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to use. This is my little torque egg. So to change the setting, you push the plus button to get back to where the setting is. Then you push the arrow to get to the digit you want to change. So tenths to the 1's place to 8, the arrow to the 2, and then you hit the T button to save the setting. You hit the T button one more time to put it in go mode, and it makes a noise. And that's it. Super easy to use. So that's the 5mm long H5 basically, and that's what I use on the bolts that are holding my oil filter cover in. That's not what comes from the factory. They're 10mm flat bolts. This is a peculiarity to my bike because of the way I've got it set up. I used the 17mm and the long extension to get the inner oil filter bolt cover off. I used the needlenose pliers to pull the oil filter out of its housing so those stay. To torque down the inner bolt, the inner cover for the oil filter, I had to resort back to the long driver, and also had to move the torque egg next to the wrench and put the extension on to clear the exhaust. And that's probably the better way to do it anyways. I just used 13/16 to take out the spark plugs. They look pretty good. My right side's running just a little bit rich, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Now I'm gonna take off the valve cover and check the valves. The valve check went well. I used the 14mm to get the cap nut off of the valve covers. I used the 10 end of this wrench to get the lock nuts off. I like to use the closed 10 to put them back on because there's just less chance of slipping. I used a flat screwdriver to get the washers out. I used my little flashlight to help me find top dead center so that I could check the valves. I used the feeler gauges to check the valves. All of them were in spec except for the exhaust valve on the left side. So I'll make a note, that was just a tiny bit tight. The exhaust nuts are loose, so I used the EME flat exhaust nut wrench with the adapter and my 3/8 drive. And I'm gonna put those back on. I'm gonna clean the threads, put a little copper anti-seize on there, and put those back on. I take them off. You don't need to take them off if you can get into these little spaces with your tiny little fingers. My giant sausage fingers don't fit in. Just take the nuts off. It's a good reminder as well to put new fresh anti-seize on those. All right, so here's all the tools I used today. So I didn't use any of the other things that I showed you, and I had to resort to grabbing a longer driver to get a couple of things out and one thing torqued. The inner cover for the oil filter gets torqued to 40 to 42 Newton meters, and that was hard to do with my short thing. So I'm gonna have to consider carrying a longer one instead. I'll work that out. It won't fit under the seat, but neither does this. Another tool I used was my cheat sheet. So this is all the quantities and torque values for the wheels, the engine, transmission, swing arm, final drive, and the valves. I'll tuck this in with my tools as well. Hopefully it won't get wet. It might end up being a little bit of a challenge to get everything back in the bag, but I'll show you how I do that too. Feeler gauges go in the back here. I'm also gonna put the flashlight in there just to keep it from getting banged up against everything else. And when I put my kit of crush washers in, I'll put that in there as well. This goes in first because it's the most awkward shaped thing, and I kind of have to work everything else around it. I'm gonna leave that like that. Try to put in the longer things first. And stagger the handles a little bit so that they're not all facing the same direction. Once those things are in, then I can start fitting in the sockets. Give it a shake every now and then to kind of sift everything down. Move the sockets to the ends. And last but not least, zip her on up. So there, everything fits back in the bag. Pretty sweet. That's my toolkit. So that's it, I'm done. I did the maintenance. I did it with one exception. I did it all with tools that I already had on my bike. So I'm pretty pleased about that. I may need to figure out a way to carry along a longer 3/8 driver just to get a little more leverage on a couple of things. I'm pretty happy that with my toolkit that I put together. I'm gonna keep that on the bike and I'll keep refining it. Some of the stuff I didn't use, I would use to remove the wheels. I think I need to add an H6 for the front wheels pinch bolts. I'll double check that before I go home, and if I do, I'll order one of those. Most of these tools I got one at a time off Amazon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tell me about your toolkit in the comments below, or send me an email. If you're an MOA member, I'm pretty easy to find. If you're not, join the MOA and then you can send me email too. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the MOA's YouTube channel.